built the box. Behind every door in there is a version of your life.
Imagine a giant box you walk in through a door and walk out in another dimension. Kind of like the Vanishing Cabinet at Hogwarts, but instead of hopping places, you're hopping realities. That's a crazy idea, right? But what if we tell you that the genius physicist named Jason Dessen managed to pull off this gizmo in the new Apple TV Plus series Dark Matter, and we're here for it. Apple TV is a sci-fi heaven, and their latest release is an adaptation of Blake Crouch's 2016 novel Dark Matter. Lucky for Blake Crouch fans that he is the showrunner of the series and has also written most of the episodes himself. With Apple TV Plus dropping the first 2 episodes altogether, here's a breakdown of what's going on in Dark Matter and what to expect next. Also, we will try to simplify some of the mind-boggling quaint concepts for you, so clear your schedule and brace yourself for a multiversal ride. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
The one thing you had that he didn't. He's been different.
First, here's a little roundup of what Dark Matter is all about. In the novel, the events unfold around the character of Jason Dessen, a quantum mechanics physicist who could have done a lot in the field of science, had he not chosen the family way of life. But Jason ditches a life in research work and opts for marrying the love of his life, Daniela. The couple soon become parents to their son Charlie, which was the beginning of a happily ever after for this family of 3. But it doesn't last because an interdimensional kidnapper decides to land up in Jason's world, transport Jason to another reality, and assume his identity in the present one. This kidnapper turns out to be a doppelganger of Jason. In fact, he is Jason himself, just from a different reality. The reality in which Jason did not marry Daniela and continued with his research work. Now, this duplicate Jason, referred to as Jason 2, wants the family life that the original Jason has, and hence, he implements his interdimensional kidnapping plans and pretends to be Daniela's husband. Meanwhile, the real Jason, stuck in another reality, struggles to find his way back to his own universe and to his wife and son.
Do exactly what she says.
Dark Matter Episode 1 and 2, Ending Explained. The show opens with a cliff-hanging scene where a mysterious figure steps out of a giant black box placed in what appears to be an abandoned scrapyard, and without much time to ponder upon the scene, we're introduced to the protagonist of the show, Jason Dessen, played by Joel Edgerton. He was once a quantum physics enthusiast, but now he's just a physics professor at an undistinguished college in Chicago. His wife was once an excellent artist and now has given up painting and runs a gallery. They are parents to a teenage son named Charlie who struggles with math problems and loves art. As Jason goes on with his low-key life teaching uninterested students, Jason learns that his friend Ryan has won the most coveted Pavia Prize in science. On his way back from Ryan's party at the local pub, Jason is kidnapped and drugged by a masked man who asks him an existential question. Are you happy with your life? Have you ever wondered what else you could have been? When Jason wakes up, he finds himself in the laboratory surrounded by people who know him, but he has no idea who they are. Freaked out, Jason runs from the facility and arrives at home only to find out that everything has changed inside. There's no trace of his wife and kid in the house, and instead, he meets the laboratory psychiatrist named Amanda inside who tells him that they live together in this house. Running into what was once his son's room, Jason discovers a wall full of honors in his name, including the Pavia Prize for quantum mechanics. A bunch of armed security personnel arrive at the house to take him back to the laboratory, prompting Jason to flee the situation. Meanwhile, another scene reveals that after Ryan's party, Jason safely returns home to his wife Daniela, played by Jennifer Connelly. She is miffed with him for going AWOL, but is quickly forgiven following Jason's seductive moves, and that's where the first episode comes to an end. The second episode opens with a kidnapped Jason still running from the laboratory goons, thinking he is losing his mind. Jason gets himself checked up at the hospital with the results turning out all fine. Jason realizes that people are recognizing him as a big shot in the field of science and referring to him as Dr. Dessen. Getting hold of an iPad, Jason tracks down Daniela, who is now a famous artist. At her invite-only art show, Jason learns that he is the inspiration behind Daniela's latest exhibition, which is based on the theme of choices and repercussions. Daniela tells Jason that while they have a romantic past, Jason eventually chose to pursue his work in the field of science and broke up with Daniela. Interestingly, Jason and Daniela's memories of being together are same up until the point where they parted ways. While Jason's memory tells him he went on to marry Daniela, she remembers the two breaking up and going their separate ways. That's how Jason eventually becomes a famous physicist and Daniela has become a renowned artist. TARDIS. This conversation brings Jason to a crucial what-if moment. The realization draws upon him that he has been transported to another reality and has been replaced by his doppelganger in his original reality. Meanwhile, by the end of the second episode, Jason's impersonator has successfully taken over Jason's life, giving dating advice to Charlie Home and schooling the uninterested students in college. Her husband's sudden change in personality and mannerisms sparks some doubts in Daniela, but all that is quickly forgotten when this false Jason offers to accompany her on an art appreciation trip. Who transported Jason to another reality and how? Remember Ryan's party, the physicist who threw a bash for winning the Pavia Prize? On his way back from Ryan's party, Jason was kidnapped by another version of Jason from another reality. Let's call him Jason 2. In his own reality, Jason 2 is the chief science officer and co-founder of the organization named Velocity that specializes in genius scientific discoveries such as the topological installations, negative energy vacuums, and particle collision. During his time at Velocity, Jason 2 discovered a way to traverse the multiverse and experience different realities. He created a box that enables one to travel to different dimensions. After this invention, Velocity sent out a number of volunteers to different realities to test the efficiency of the box and also to record their experiences. Jason 2 was also one among them who ventured into the box to experience how his life would have been in different realities. During his interdimensional travel, Jason 2 managed to track down Jason and get a glimpse of his happily married life with Daniela. Aspiring to have what Jason has, Jason 2 decided to steal Jason's identity. Jason 2 operated out of a secret locker in his reality and stalked Jason and his family to learn about their habits. He abducted Jason on the night of the party, intoxicated him with a unique psychoactive drug, and stole his wedding ring and clothes. Jason 2 then put Jason inside a box which is safely hidden at a desolate scrapyard and transported him back to the Velocity laboratories. Thus, Jason, to return home to Daniela after Ryan's party, is actually the doppelganger, and the one who landed up at Velocity is not their chief science officer,
but an actual human being in.
How is the concept of doppelgangers explained in the series? Okay, this might sound a little complicated, but we'll try to simplify it the best we can. While talking to Daniela in the alternate reality, Jason explains that when someone makes a decision in one particular reality, the alternate result of that decision plays out in a different reality, giving rise to an alternate version of the person, a doppelganger. For example, till the time Daniela and Jason were dating, things were all cool and they have the same memories. But when Daniela conceived and asked Jason to make a decision about their future, the reality diverged into two possibilities, creating separate universes and separate versions of Jason and Daniela. In reality 1, with Jason deciding to marry Daniela, he let his career take a backseat and chose love instead, resulting in his low-key but happy life in Chicago. Meanwhile, in the alternate reality 2, the Jason doppelganger pursued a successful career in science, and the alternate version of Daniela became a celebrity artist, but the two never got married. To put it simply, when choices are made, alternate realities are created with alternate versions of a person. Blake Crouch really does connect the concept of doppelgangers with the existential theme of making choices, and that's such an interesting way to look at the multiverse. What is the box and how does it work? The box is an interdimensional travel device to hop between the different universes, but a much darker version of Doctor Who's TARDIS. Blake Crouch actually consulted a real-life physics professor to come up with the idea of the box for his novel. As seen in the show, it is really what it's called, a spooky-looking giant black cube with a door. Before Jason left his physicist's life behind, he aspired to create a device that can put an actual human being into superposition. Jason 2 pursued the research work, actually managed to create this box, a device powerful enough to put humans in superposition. This box allows a person to travel across the multiple realities of quantum physics. However, during the interdimensional journey, a traveler can also bring back diseases or viruses or radioactive radiation from alternate realities, and they are required to remain in quarantine while thorough medical tests are conducted on them. The box concept can be explained by the Schrodinger's cat theory, which is a much researched paradox and also a thought experiment of quantum mechanics. Interestingly, Jason was teaching his students this very concept in class, unaware that he was going to be a victim of it in the near future. In this scenario, a cat is placed inside a box with a vial of poison and some radioactive substance and sealed up completely. Now, a random subatomic event may or may not occur, and the cat may or may not die inside a box. In this situation, the outsider observing the box has no way of knowing whether the cat remains alive or dead inside, and the absence of a conclusive answer results in two possibilities: that the cat is both dead and alive. This phenomenon of being hypothetically both alive and dead is explained as quantum superposition. So how does the Schrodinger's cat cat's theory connect to the box? Well, while the cat experiment has just two possible outcomes, the box enables the interdimensional traveler to explore multiple outcomes, following the same concept of quantum superposition. That is, the traveler can imagine multiple realities with the help of a psychoactive drug and zero in on one as their destination reality. Upon waking up and stepping out of the box, they land in their desired reality. In essence, the box enables the traveler to visualize all possible outcomes of a choice they made in the past and travel to the one they like. For example, when Daniela got pregnant, Jason 2 told her that he would not be able to give her time in the future because of his research work. They split up and never got to build their life together, something that haunted Jason 2 constantly. Once he constructed the box, he was eager to see how his life would have turned out if he had said yes to Daniela. When he saw that Jason and Daniela as a happily married couple, he removed Jason from that reality and began impersonating him to be with Daniela. Why is Daniela killed at the end of episode 2? Yes, it's a shocker. Daniela does die, but not the one that is Jason's wife. In the alternate reality, Jason sought refuge at Daniela's apartment. There he explained the concept of alternate realities to Daniela, who in this reality never got to be together with Jason. Intrigued, she asked him about Jason's married life in his original universe, and just when things got a little cozy, the doorbell rang. A badass shooter named Don, who's in charge of tracking down Jason and bringing him back to Velocity headquarters, barged into the apartment. When Daniela attempted to alert the police, Dawn shot her point blank and paralyzed Jason with electric shocks. It appears that Velocity wants to keep the box a secret and wants to leave no witnesses. When Daniela attempted to call for help, Dawn had to take the extreme step of killing Daniela, as Velocity could not lose Jason again. Velocity desperately wanted Jason back in the labs, thinking that he is actually Jason 2 and the one who created the box. Velocity thinks that he is the only volunteer of the box experiment who has returned to his original reality after 14 months and 10 days, and Velocity must collect all possible data from him about his interdimensional travel. Thus, they could not afford to lose Jason or get the police involved, and that's why they killed Daniela. The first two episodes of Dark Matter set the foundation for the maddening and multiversal adventures that lie ahead for Jason. Along with the Velocity psychiatrist Amanda, Jason will attempt to do the impossible, explore as many alternate realities as possible to reunite with his family. He will enter the box and traverse multiple universes, some of which are pure hell, as we can tell from the preview. Jason's efforts to get back will prompt Amanda to warn him that the world he is looking for is a grain of sand on an infinite beach. While Jason will struggle to return to his family, Daniela and Charlie too will grow suspicious of Jason 2 back home. In the previews, Daniela says she feels scared of him, while Charlie says something is wrong with his father. The third episode, all set to drop on May 15th, will also offer a better look at the box. So, how about you guys? What are your thoughts on this sci-fi doppelganger show? Please share with us in the comments below. And as always, if you liked our video, stay tuned for more Dark Matter related content. We'll see you super soon. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.